Hello, it is iYikKam time again. Since last time I released the YouTube on getting the most out of yjkym, I received many questions and debate from our Wing Chun friends. So what I found out is that a lot of our friends do not understand what I am presenting in the get the most out of yjkym video, and some of them even go to into a defensive mode of a defensive their lineage and so forth. What people don't understand is that I'm trying to get into the biomechanics. Be it is from ancient Chinese martial arts or today's biomechanics, it has to be making sense. Okay, one cannot simply stand in the yjkym and speculate how deep or how advanced the yjkym is. One need to have the basics, be it the ancient traditional Chinese martial art development or today's science and biomechanics. They are actually a quote. Okay, if we cannot satisfy this basic, there is no advanced art, because there's not even basic. Okay, how can one get the advanced art? So today I like to share with you this. Okay, once for all, let's settle this thing. Okay, because this need to be settled, and this is serious stuff which is I don't see anybody bring up for past 65 years in the Wing Chun history. Okay, and maybe somebody had brought it up, I didn't see it, but what I see is that I couldn't find any. So today I like to share with you this. Okay, if what we talk about today is not develop or implement, there is no such thing as internal art or advanced art, and there is no way yjkym to get one anyway if what we're going to go through today is not satisfied. Okay, so let's begin. Number one, in Chinese, for the ancient traditional Chinese martial art, it said 外练筋皮骨, externally train the sinews, muscle, bones. Okay, as simple as that. So what does it mean? Okay, of course we cannot just recite this 外练筋皮骨, externally train tendons, sinews, bone, but we have no idea what they are talking about and what are they really trained. Okay, so let me show you a picture of what they are really is. Okay, so here's the picture. You see this bone skeleton structure here, and you see this muscle tendon group or muscle tendon structure or tendon muscle structure here. And then the same thing here, we see the meridians, the channel, okay, the 太阳膀胱经 and so forth. So when the Chinese say 外练筋皮骨, externally develop the bones and the tendon muscle group, it means these joints, all these joints, the 7 bone we talk about, the joints and the spine, that is the bone part. Okay, externally training the bone. And then as for the tendon and muscle training, this, okay, from 1 to 5, this tendon muscle group or tendon muscle structure, whatever you want to call it, is the most important thing one need to develop. Okay, if you can see that this is related to here, Okay, they are correlated if you see that. Okay, all those muscle tendon group, and then it also related to the channel of the body, 太阳膀胱经 and so forth. So when the Chinese say the most basic of the martial art is 外练筋皮骨, all those joints and all those tendon muscle group has to be developed. Otherwise, it doesn't matter it's external art, internal art, or healing art, or whatever art. It just simply do not have the basic if this is not developed. Okay, and sure, somebody might want to get pick on whatever terminology I use or whatever. One can go to this, okay, for details scientifically. But we do this today because it's keep it simple, okay? So if this is not trained, developed, this skeleton or the skeleton structure or the joints and is not developed, how are we supposed to get into the energy channel stuff? One simply can. And how is that going to get into internal art or chi or using the mind? The body doesn't even function. It's like the car even is not maintained. The transmission, the wheel, the suspension is not maintained at all. How is that car supposed to be racing? Okay. So it's very serious in yjkym. The people train this thing, and we know the simplest way of developing or training is to move it. How is one supposed to sit in the so-called yjkym, hold the heck, clamp the heck out the joints, and not moving their body, but moving only their elbow and the elbow, the shoulder, and the wrist? Train anything about this thing. And if this is not trained, the whole body is not moving, it's not even developed. How is it supposed to even function properly? It can. Okay? So the reason I suggest using the squat, the air squat, before anybody practice yjkym, is in fact doing air squat is the most simple way to actually have a basic training of all the 7 bones and the spine handling. And of course, this muscle from the this heel, Achilles heel, the heel placed to the top of the head. Can you see the top of the head? That's what I'm getting into. Human biomechanics. Let's not get into this, my lineage, your lineage, my view, your view. What view? I don't even propose any view. I just say simply describe human body biomechanics. If that is not satisfied, one human cannot even function. Are you going to believe that, I do futsal this 1,000 times or 3 hours, be able to get anywhere? When this major tendon and the muscle structure or the group never being trained. Without this and the joints, how is it one supposed to handle force flow? It's impossible, sorry. How is one supposed to handle the action-reaction force? It's impossible. Okay? People like to talk about bow and string of the bow, and the body is a bow or internal art. This big muscle here, this muscle, tendon muscle group, is the string of the bow. Okay? If that string of the bow is not developed or trained, let's don't fantasy on something which is something come from nowhere. Okay? it become really, really out of reality already. Okay, and what I'm talking here is not even what advanced art or this is just common human biomechanics. Deal with your muscle handling and your joints and bones handling. That is the basic of the Chinese martial art, 外练筋皮骨, externally trained muscle, tendon, and bones. Without that, what are we doing? Look at those MMA people, how strong they are in all this muscle group and their joints. How good, how well their conditions. Are you trying to convince me that this sitting in yjkym like a water tower for 3 hours have an internal power to go against those MMA fighter, which is trained as a pro? Forget about it. Okay? That's reality. So, that's 外练筋皮骨. Okay? So if you want to do this 擒陽落勁, 力從地起, or clamping yang, sinking the force flow and force rise from the ground, without this thing, how is it supposed to get done? It simply turned into a fantasy. That's why a lot of people take this so-called ancient quinquit, like externally trained bone and tendons, and then using the clamping yang, sinking the force flow, force come up from ground. Or just take that like a mantra. One doesn't understand what is going on at all, even in the most basic level of human body mechanics. Biomechanics. Hopeless. That's hopeless. Okay? And, okay, the second thing is, as I mentioned the other day, the second quit or writing or saying in Chinese, beside the externally train the tendon and the muscle and the bones, is internally train the breathing. If this prerequisite is not met, the body is not settled down and loose down. How is this breathing supposed to be taking place? All this breathing, okay? How is this going to take place? And if this breathing is not proper, how is that person is going to function? Again, you can go do this, the whole body stuck hold on, and then try to do folks out for 10 hours or whatever ridiculous hours, stuck, have stuffy on the chest and whole bunch of stuff. How is it according to the human biology here? Okay? How is it? And this is just common, usual science today. Okay, for the inhale and exhale phase, and see how the diaphragm working, how things working. Like this is exhale, this is inhale, and how is this move up and down? That is the basic of the full body breathing. We don't understand this. How is one supposed to know what's going on and how to develop it? Okay? Without this thing, how is one even know how to breathe? And usually we say, well, you need to be able to handle and test under pressure. How is one who do not or never been trained in this breathing and handling of the bones and this major groups of muscle according to Chinese internal art or Chinese traditional martial arts? If those things is not trained, how is one going to handle under pressure? Okay. Can the breathing tested under pressure without train, without knowing what it is? Can the bone, the muscle take the pressure test without being trained or without even know what the heck's going on there? So a lot of time people saying, oh, everything has to be taken under pressure and so forth, and they say I'm making it too complicated. You know what they are? They just try to be emotional and get gung-ho. So it is like the level boxer, the boxer rebellion people saying, oh, what the heck about the Western firearms? I can train qigong and then I can stop bullet with my body. This is totally crazy. One need to know what is the boundary condition, the limits, and how to handle things in order to say one have to take things under pressure. Without that, it's just a random stuff. By, oh yeah, emotion, I'm good, I'm gung-ho, I can do it. That is not what it is. Chinese martial is not that. Okay? One need to be actually really scientific. Again, when I propose using the air squat, because when one squat down, one have to handle this breathing properly. Otherwise, one have a tough time to breathe. Okay? So if one do good in air squat, one have the very minimum basic. Of course, there are many different ways to train this thing. Okay? And even advanced way. But now, I strip off everything. Just get to the basic of basic. If one cannot do an air squat, forget about it. And if one want to do twirl, like we talk about the chamkyu twirl, without be able to handle this, what twirl? You cannot do a thing. Also, you want to talk about qi, using the yi to lead the qi, one couldn't even have the muscle, the tendon, the bones, and the breathing proper. How is it all supposed to work? Okay? If one could not handle this tendon, muscle, bones, and breathing, and have very smooth handling and so forth, how is this supposed to be loosened up and strengthen the internal organs? How is that one supposed to be able to handle everything under stress or under pressure, under dynamic condition? It just doesn't make sense. So, today I'd like to share with you this because this is the bottom line. This is scientific. It disregard. This is the ancient Chinese teaching or today's scientific teaching is all the same. It has to be scientific, systematic, comprehensive, and know exactly what it is because this world is a causal system. Causal meaning there is a cause and the effect. Okay? So hopefully what I share with you today, let you see a big picture. Let's not get into the ridiculous thing like standing 1 hour in yjkym doing Xiu Lim Tao can go anywhere. Okay? It doesn't go anywhere. Look at the MMA train, the pro and the player, the whole body. So disregard of you say that this is internal art, external art, whatever art. If this basic of the joints, the muscle, the tendon, and the breathing cannot be handled, one simply doesn't know a thing. Okay? One can argue, oh yeah, I do tan bong folk, this technique versus that techniques. Well, until you crush with one of the MMA pro, see whether those things works or not, or the whole body disintegrate, disregard what kind of technique one is very good at. Okay. So the reality is, I'm not saying that I'm the best, I know it all. No, this is human biomechanics and human biology. We like it or not, as soon as we are human, not Superman, not Iron Man, not Batman, we need to obey this rule. Disregard is Chinese or is Western or is internal, external, this is the basic platform. Without this handled properly and trained and developed, how can one be able to do it under test? Okay. So, finally, as what I said, anybody who trained in the Xiu Lim Tao and yjkym or Wing Chun, if they not have some development equivalent to this and fulfill all this basic development, or at least have some kinds of like air squat training, how is it supposed to stand there, lock their knee, lock their ankle, lock their hip, and then stop their breathing and just playing with their hand, their wrist, their elbow, and their shoulder, be able to get anywhere? So I leave this for you today. Okay?